We just like playing football. We've extended the season. We want to hang out together and play more football, and we can do that next week by getting a win.
There's Kalani Sitake after BYU goes on the road and beats Cincinnati 26-14. They take a giant step towards playing for the Big 12 championship. How cool is that? Got a lot of thumbs up and a lot of hearts. A lot of people loved what they saw as BYU was able to grind out that 12-point win. And Frank says the most cool thing is it knocks the little brother up north out of any chance of playing for anything this year. Not going to let it go, PK.
Also not exactly true, but that's
it's not 100% true. No, it's
not.
It's likely.
Tony says they will be a double-digit favorite at home against UCF. You can't take anything for granted. Play their game, and things will work out.
Yeah,
that's closer to the truth there.
If Utah goes 11-2, then that would mean that the Sun Devils knocked BYU last year out of playing for anything. No. You were jacked to play that Colorado game.
100%.
So, no. I'm not going to let some outside influence determine the quality of a football team.
Did you and Kalani have a meeting and get together on this? Because I think that's what Kalani is saying without using those exact words. He's deflected every question that's come his way about that, about win the next game. I'm glad we won this game. Just about the things he can control. Win the last one, win the next one.
But I disagree with him to an extent. Notre Dame puts up 70 with the point of putting up 70. Mm-hmm. And L.J. Martin scores that late touchdown. It looks better. They didn't create the system. They are in the system, so they got to play by the system's rules, however ridiculous they are. So that late touchdown that they scored makes it look better. So, and I know what Kalani's trying to say. He doesn't want to take the focus off of winning, and you can't assume, let's pile it on Tuesday and start talking. Hey, guys, we really need to pile it on. You haven't played the game yet, so I disagree with him, but I agree with his sentiment because he's a coach, and he has to say that.
It could set up a bad mindset.
Right.
Like you're telling your guys it's going to be an easy win.
So, right. So does that make sense? I mean, I disagree with the philosophy, but I agree that he's saying it. Because as a coach, you have to say it. I'm not a coach. I don't have to worry about that. This team needs to go out and beat the snot out of UCF, unfortunately for UCF. If they have a chance to pile it on. The Catholics did it.
Yeah, PK, that's, I think, the point. PK, yeah. Kalani can't talk about it during the week, but if afforded the opportunity,
you got to do it.
Pour it on.
You got to do it, man. That doesn't mean you won reverses and Kingston's throwing the ball late in the fourth quarter when you're up by 24. But if you have an opportunity to play.
So don't go down at the 1 yard line, LJ Martin. Continue across the goal line.
Yes, exactly.
Dillingham talked about this Saturday night. They scored a late touchdown. Mm-hmm. Now they're a long shot, but they've had a nice season given the injuries that they've had. And he said that he caught the eye of Deion Sanders, and Deion wanted to continue to play because he's got a freshman quarterback, and so he's taking timeouts in a game that they're not going to win. Mm-hmm. So they kind of gave each other the look like, okay, let's play, right? And so they score a late touchdown. It doesn't matter for them because they're not going to get there. But the point being that their victory looks a little bit better.
Yeah.
And so they played, and they got a kid who's a third-team running back, whatever it might be, and he scored a touchdown, his first of his, hopefully for him, for many. And so he was asked about that, and he said, "No, this was set up like this."
Game reps are a rare opportunity,
Yeah.
and so if you want to coach and teach and all that stuff.
So they need to do that.
Did you ever have that happen to you when you were playing?
What?
Where there was a lopsided game? We were getting crushed once. We'd never seen full court zone press, and they were going to take it off because they were up by like 30 or 40, and our coach turned around, "Put the bleeping thing back on. We got to figure this out." So it's game reps. You got to.
Yeah, baseball's a different sport that way.
I know, but you put your finger in the dirt for a year in freshman football, and you got all the CYO basketball. So I don't know. You're a multi-sport athlete.
Oh. Yeah, one time my father was coaching. He took me out. I said, "Put me back in." We got the game won. I said, "I know, but I'm hot."
See? There you go.
I've got no problem with them, and I think it's actually needed in a sense. Notre Dame, 70 points. Did they need to do that to win the game? No, but
if it helps keep them in the playoff field,
Yeah.
if it gets them a home game, depending on how things play out.
it shouldn't have to be that way. But this is the ridiculous system, and the committee comes out, and the chairman says, well, they didn't look good. So
it's about how you look.
clearly it's about how you look.
Look different.
Yeah, and pile it on if they've got that opportunity, and it's important that they do that because it is a beauty contest, and you're trying to do stuff beyond what you should need to do. And so far for them, and if you go 11-1 and you're left out, then it's a bogus system, and I don't want to hear it. Then there is no more realistic national champion than there was in 1984.
Nobody's going to get left out at 11-1, I don't believe. But will you get left out at 11-2?
Oh, so then they should say we're not going to play the
right.
game.
12-1, you have the
You
automatic.
are 11-1. Now, I didn't say that. Anytime you achieve 11-1, and I don't care if you got 15 games left, if you got 11-1, you should be in, especially when that's coming off a second consecutive 11-win season. Bleep you, and you, if that committee does not put BYU in it. And that would be an absolute joke. And I don't care if they got beat 70-7 in that final game. No, they were 11-1. Don't judge on one friggin' game. Who else gets judged on one game? That's ridiculous. You went 11-1.
SMU was 11-1 last year, lost the game, went to 11-2, and got in. So there is precedent there. Whether that'll matter, my guess is it won't. But we'll see.
I mean, and it was so nice to the Cincinnati fans. They understood the situation, so they were chanting, "Good luck, Mormons!
Yes, good luck, Mormons.
Good luck,
Yes.
Mormons!
Yes.
almost,
Good luck, Mormons!"
almost
Has that
accurate.
fine been imposed yet?
Now, I heard that. That's what I heard. Good luck, Mormons. And I thought that was really nice of them. We donated food to you, and you're telling us good luck. That was nice. That's what I expect of the Queen City people. I've been there.
Hence, you know about the Queen City.
Yes. My wife says we're watching the game. Have you been to Cincinnati? And I look at her. I said, "You talking about the stadium?" "No, the city." "Yeah, we sat in the ballpark and watched the Reds play." "Oh, yeah."
She's forgetting all the
I was
ballparks you've been
there.
to.
I was there with you.
Come on.
And that's probably not the only time you've been there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I wasn't sure what she meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were right there. You were sitting to my right, remember? Had me a little nervous there. But yeah, if they go 11-1 and they don't get in, it's just an absolute travesty. And then to me, it's no more, if you're going to criticize the 1984 one, then criticize this one. 11-4 in a power league. And you slapped a loss on a team that was 10-2?
Yeah, do BYU fans want to hear that Utah comeback makes their record look even better?
Mm-hmm. I think they should.
Because a lot of the stuff I'm reading now, for whatever it's worth, I mean, everybody's got an opinion, and not everybody gets to write or talk about it. But a lot of people now are constantly noting, well, they had a win over a ranked team, but they're going to drop out. You know, Missouri's going to drop out, so it doesn't really
Well, Utah
carry
ain't dropping out.
the same weight. Right. Utah wins, so they won't drop out.
I think in the moment you wanted to see them lose because it's fun to see them lose. But now that you've
Now that you get to think about it, you're like, okay, well.
especially you hadn't played Cincinnati yet.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah.
Right. Well, now you played Cincinnati. You got that win. And so now it's completely control your own fate. It's not destiny because destiny, you can't control it. It just happens. And that's like anxious and eager. It drives me nuts when I hear that. And here, you just win the ball game. Now, you don't win the ball game, then you deserve all the ridicule that you're going to get. Win the ball game, and then, yeah, way to go, Utes. Thanks for helping us out. We appreciate it. That would tick off Ute fans even more. So that's what you should do. You should, when you go to work next Monday, a week from today, give your Ute fans a hug. We couldn't have done it without you. That's going to irritate them even more. See, I know how to irritate people.
And say, bless your heart while
Yeah.
you do it.
Yeah, thank you.
So
we
speaking
appreciate your help climbing to the top.
Speaking of irritation, Matthew says about isn't it cool to BYU on? He says, not sure. I'm still reeling about the soul-crushing question you all asked a few days ago.
Well, I already thought about that.
Maybe next week is the most important game in BYU history, right? Until the next week. It just keeps going and going.
And that's what you want.
Like run-on sentences and long-winded questions.
You don't want long-winded questions or run-on sentences, but you want the most important game this week to be superseded by the most important game next week because that meant you won that game.
It means you won the last.
You freaking idiot.
It means you won the last big game.
Who is that?
How you hanging on? Where are you?
Yeah.
Matthew McCray.
I'm in San Bernardino right now.
Well, Matthew, you're stupid in this particular instance.
Long-winded run-on, so you went with the question. Okay, I was slow on that one.
You were?
Way to go, Yak.
Oh, no. That is the classic. That is the ultimate long-winded. You've had a few yourself.
Thank you.
You want to let people know, hey, I know hoop. I know to dive to the post. I know this and that. You can, with Locke, you get a little long-winded. And I usually check out, to be honest. Like last week when he said, oh, that was a brilliant question, I had long since checked out. It was just too long. I mean, if it's more than 10 seconds, I'm out. And I don't care how brilliant you are. And you're very brilliant when it comes to basketball. You know your basketball. There's no question about it.
Well, you went back to a Jersey again, didn't you? Basketball.
That's the way they say it.
Man, basketball. You got to get it up into the nasal passage. Basketball.
Yeah, so...
All right.
But that's the prototypical long-winded question. Damian Hunter, he had checked out, and then he came back right at the end.
How you hanging on? Where are you?
I'm in San Bernardino right now.
Tom Holmoe told me he laughed hysterically at that.
I bet he did. The rest of us did. I don't see why
A friend
Tom
of mine
wouldn't.
told me she pulled over on the side of the road because her eyes were tearing.
That would have been great to hear it live. I didn't. Missed it.
But now we get to hear it forever.
We do. That's true.
So I don't want to hear if they don't make it 11-1. If they finish 11-2, I don't care. They were still 11-1. And your SMU example is spot to freak on. That's why I have faith that they'll get in.
Tony says the Cougars will be a double-digit favorite at home against UCF. Can't take anything for granted. Play their games and things will work out. They are a double-digit favorite. Have you seen the spread?
I am not.
Want to take a shot?
16.
18.5. Not bad. Utes on the road at Kansas?
Kansas, I'll go 9.5.
13.5. Yeah. Utah and BYU
It's reasonable.
to roll.
Yeah.
Big favorites. Your Devils playing Arizona?
Oh, I think that would either be a pick 'em or maybe like 1 for Arizona. Maybe 2.
Arizona State, 1.5. You're in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Boise State at Utah State?
I'll go 8.3.
8.3. 3.5. Boise State by 3.5.
Yeah, we'll get to Bronco here coming up. I mean, that was a great game. I watched the entirety of it.
Yep.
Because the timing played out perfectly. But that BYU win was a clutch win. That's the word that I want to use. We usually think of that more in like a basketball sense or maybe even a baseball sense. But I thought that was a clutch win.
The defense was great.
Yeah.
And the offense, it looked like they were ready to break it open in the first half, but they couldn't finish drives. Kept getting across midfield, and then somehow it got messed up. Well, I don't know. The easy cliche is to say that the offensive line wore them down because in the fourth quarter, they just kept running right through.
Well, that was L.J. Martin's finest moment as a BYU Cougar.
Yeah.
And looks
He had
like
a
he has an
massive game.
opportunity to play in the NFL, and maybe this might be his last season. We'll see. Good on him, man. Another kid that had no business really coming to BYU, but he did. He's making the best of it. He's flourishing, and they're counting on him. He's coming through. He stayed mostly healthy this season, and I'm happy for the young man. Having conversations with Aaron Roderick in the offseason, the kid really put in the work. That was what Aaron Roderick came back to that to me. He told me multiple times the kid put in the work, and now he's reaping the benefits, and that's so great. There was my guy down at Corner Canyon, Eric Kerr, the coach, an individual I respect at the highest level and someone I've known for many years. He had a quote after they won the title, and I get, they're the all-star team, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine, whatever. He said, a quote he said after the game.
About work.
Yeah.
About putting in the work in the offseason.
Without work, you're nothing. Without work, you're nothing. That needs to go on every weight room and every gym and every classroom at the high school level, at the junior high level, to where, when you get maturity to understand this is what it's about. And
that goes on your Mount Rushmore of coaches' quotes right there, doesn't it?
Yeah. I read that. I read that at KSL, and then I flicked over, looked at D News. They both had that quote. Without work, you're nothing. Oh, man. I'll see him here coming up, and I'm going to tell him that was just a brilliant statement. It's so true. It's absolutely true. That's the answer to your freaking problems right there.
You can't you can get by on talent for a while in some situations, but it will catch up to you.
Yeah.
Whether we're talking about sports or
it's across
something
the
else.
board.
Yeah, right.
It's absolutely across the board.
Sports, music, whatever in education.
You want something? Work for it. Show up and work. Unless you were born in a money family, good on you. But even those people probably, I wouldn't know, but those people have to work for it too. And show up and work. Without work, you're nothing. And to see BYU do what they've done this season, it's through the efforts that they've put in. And it's a great reward. Job's not done yet, but so far, that was a clutch win on Saturday. They needed it, and they got it.
DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. When we come back, Bronco Mendenhall coming up. We'll talk with the Aggie coach after a big win at Fresno. Stay with us.